let's get started. We have a good number of people joining already. So welcome everyone to another Tuesday Townhall. Hope everyone is doing great. A little bit of the intention beyond this audio room. We want to talk about our existing Regulation A race and also tell you a little bit about the state of the business, the past, the present, and the future of the business as well. Where are we heading? What kind of efforts are we doing? What kind of features are we bringing? But most importantly, this is a space so we can answer any questions you might have on the existing race. If you are either an existing investor or someone that is thinking about investing in Fanbase, this is the perfect time to ask the questions. We always try to give as much transparency, as many details as possible to make everyone comfortable for joining, our journey. And again, if you're just a user that wants to understand how Fanbase works, what's different from Fanbase from the rest, this is also another space that you can ask that. Okay. Myself, I'm Rama. I'm the humble CTO for Fanbase, and I have the pleasure to be next to Mr. Isaac Hayes III, our CEO and founder, and the person who came up with the Fanbase idea. So with that said, let's get started, Isaac. And as usual, I always like to start with the basics of the Reg A. How much are we raising? What's the minimum to invest? Let's give our amazing audience some details around the race.
Yeah. Good afternoon, good afternoon, except for good evening for Rama if you're listening in overseas. But shout out to everybody that's listening. We are raising $17 million in a Regulation A crowdfund on Start Engine, giving you the opportunity to invest in Fanbase and have equity in the company. We are currently at, I haven't looked, I know we crossed we just went over 1.7 million today, so we're at 1.7 million, a little over that, which is cool, which is 10% of our goal. So that's a good milestone for us to be at 10% of our investment goal in this round. I'm really excited about that. I think that's important. The minimum to invest in Fanbase is $399. That get at $665 a share, which gives you 60 shares of Fanbase stock. So that is what we're doing. We've decided to go Regulation A crowdfund route for various reasons, but I think the biggest reason is we are no longer a startup. We are in scale-up mode, and that scale-up mode gives us the opportunity to build faster and better and do more from what the community wants. And so we're excited to be able to do that. And in a Reg A, you can raise up to $75 million. We chose $17 million for a very specific reason. And that gives us the opportunity, like I said, to scale the company rather quickly and continue to build, our ideas and our vision and provide the functionality and the creativity that you guys are looking for.
That's awesome. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about the tiers that we have, because there's also extra incentives depending on how much you invest. So we'll talk about a little bit about the tiers. So we have 5 tiers. In each tiers, you're going to get some perks depending on how much you invest. Okay. So the first tier, which is if you invest $600 or more, remember the minimum to invest is $399. But if you invest $600 or more, you're going to be part of our, feature list, which means that every time we bring a new feature to Fanbase, you're going to be the first one to hear about it. Okay, so that's super, super exciting. The tier number 2, and I said, you might have to help me here, because I usually have my cheat sheet in front of me, and internet is not playing really nice with me.
The internet is not playing nice?
I got it. Tier 2 is $1,000 or more. And besides being part of the early feature list, you're also going to get some labs that you can use inside Fanbase. You can use a lab anywhere in our 6 content creation verticals, and you can support your favorite creators. In tier 2, you're going to get 10,000 labs that you can use anywhere in Fanbase. And also, you're going to get a verified profile badge. Now, on Tier 3, if you have $2,500 or more, you're going to get everything that I just mentioned. But instead of 10,000 loves, you're going to get 15,000 loves plus a Fanbase t-shirt. Okay? You will also get a verified profile badge. Tier 4 is $5,000 or more. You're going to get everything that I just shared, 20,000 loves, the t-shirt. You're going to get an early investor gold verified profile badge. So if you go around Fanbase and you start seeing some gold badges and you wonder what they are, those are investors, because most of our investors are also users, and a lot of them super users, which is super exciting. Also, which I think is one of the best perks out there, is you're going to get 5% bonus shares on Tier 4. So if you invest $5,000 or more, you're going to get 5% bonus shares there. And then last but not least, we have our last tier, Tier 5. So if you invest $10,000 or more, you're going to get everything I shared, 30,000 loves, t-shirts, early investor gold, verified profile badge. And also, you're going to have a private dinner with us. I know some of you are diamond level investors, and we're hoping to get everyone once we close this race so we can have an amazing dinner and talk about the future of Fanbase. Okay, so 5 extra reasons for investing in Fanbase, but of course the most important reason here is that, as Isaac always says, you get to own a piece of social media platform where you can really make a change and you can really drive the value. Now, Isaac, I asked this question before, but I think it's basic but super important. If I'm an investor, how can I help drive the value for Fanbase as well?
Well, immediately, one of the things you can do is tell other people about Fanbase. I think, social media apps are not built off celebrities, but they're built off communities. And so Fanbase is an app that's focusing on community building at its core. So letting people know about, Fanbase, I think, is extremely important, for one. And then if you are an investor, tell other people about the opportunity to invest. I think this is extremely important because this is a very rare opportunity for people to invest in a social media startup and have equity. And so I think that is something that you need to let people know, and explaining that you actually are an owner in a platform, an emerging platform that is on the path to be a successor to the current social apps. And so this is something that we're scaling and building towards the future. So like I said, using Fanbase for one, telling people about it, migrating your content over, all those things. And then, like I said, tell people about the opportunity to invest.
That's great. So I saw that we have several new users in our audience. So I want to take this opportunity because one of the questions that comes all the time is, how is Fanbase different from the rest, right? And what I want to do is I want to spend some time before we hear some of the questions that you guys might have, is trying to explain why Fanbase is different, why we're not just like any other social media out there. And Isaac, my first question that I'm going to ask you before we go into all the different, platforms out there is, do you consider Fanbase to be a competitor of the other social medias like TikTok, Instagram, and so on?
No, I don't. I do not consider it to be a competitor, just based off the structure of the platform and the vision that we have. And so I think that social media is trying to figure out a way to become what Fanbase was born to be, which is an app that contains, multiple functionalities that you can use to just enjoy social media, but also at the same time have, an unaffected reach and monetization at the same time, all in one, without ads or suppression. So, the current construct of social media apps, and it's to no fault of their own, it's what you